Hi, I want to talk to you about something that is coming up this Sunday. I've been leading up and sharing a lot of different things, and this subject I'm very passionate about, and it is about empowered wellness in general for men and women, but specifically this workshop series that I am beginning is for women. It is empowered wellness for every woman. And this specific workshop that I'm doing on Sunday is all about Ayurveda and the nervous system. So I wanted to take a few minutes and break that down a little bit because just to kind of give a little bit of background about why those two things. And then also to over the next couple of days, I'll do another video each day. Today will be the first of three leading up to the workshop. And I'll do one more specifically on Ayurveda and another specifically on the nervous system. But right now, I am just kind of sharing about all of it in general. So just to kind of catch you up, if you haven't seen, I did last week. I did a workshop, a free workshop that was all about holistic health and kind of the problem that we have in our society, and how the healthcare system has failed us. It's great for some things, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of reasons that you would want to go to a hospital or go see a doctor. The thing that it's the best at is emergency care, but there are a lot of ways that it really falls short and doesn't serve us at all. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and like kind of give you that little recap of the last workshop, detailing out kind of that stream that I see, like the perfect storm that is happening right now. And I'm not the person that has recognized it. I see it and I've seen it for a while, but there's lots of great people out there that have also paved the way to understanding this whole problem. And then just to also let you know, like I have a new blog out that talks a little bit more about this. So there's a couple different places where you can read some more about this, and but you can also catch the replay of the original introductory workshop, which you'll see all of the slides, and I'll go through it in detail. It's only about an hour, so not too much time, and you can always speed it up, right? If you're like me and you're oftentimes like you want the information, but you're also maybe trying to fit it into a certain particular time spot, you can easily just change the speed of the replay. And so you could watch it in 1.25 speed, which is very doable. If you're really pushed for time, you can watch it in 1.5. 1.25 is probably the most, it's good, but not too hectic, generally speaking. So I'm going to outline this for you. So the problem that I see in the way that it's serving us or not serving us is that there's a miseducation and a disconnection. And both of these together lead to disempowerment. So in general, Americans and possibly a lot of people, probably a lot of people around the world are disempowered with their health because we're in this model where all of the power is in the hands of other people that are telling us what's best for our bodies. And sometimes that might be the case. Like there are certainly times where a person, because they are not connected and maybe maybe they're in a state of crisis, maybe they don't know what's best for themselves. But what is true regardless is that the body does know best. The body knows. And when we're connected to our bodies, because we are spiritual beings in these bodies, like the information is there, the wisdom is there. The body has an innate ability to heal itself. And I firmly believe that our bodies are divinely intelligent. And at any given moment, your body is making the very best choice that it can with the circumstances it's presented with. Even the things that we look at as being really negative, diseases, even in those moments, the body is doing something to the best of its ability. Like it's literally doing the most intelligent thing, making the most intelligent choice that it can in order to keep you surviving, in order to keep you going. So it's really an amazing thing that we have here, this organism of this spiritual embodied person that we are. So when I talk about miseducation, the Western model of health is a false story. Just period. End of story. It's false. It's symptom driven. It's all about chasing band-aids. So there's a wrong education, but there's also a lack of education. And when we have this miseducation, whether it's coming from lack of or wrong education, then we're disintegrated. There's a disintegration, right? So like we are not integrated. We're not operating from an integrated, empowered place. And there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of that feeling of, I don't know what to do. I don't know what would be best, what would serve me. So then because of that, there's this like external authority that we're always seeking. So that the disconnection piece leads to when we're not listening, we're not tapped in, tuned in, and listening to our bodies, then we have a lack of intuition, a lack of confidence, a lack of power, a sense of isolation, which doesn't do us any good, and a sense of being ungrounded. Our nervous systems are disrupted, and there's a devaluation of our innate ability to heal and your body and your mind and you as an organism of your divine potential and intelligence. So the solution here that I see is the right education and connection, the connection to our bodies and to ourselves as spiritual beings, to something higher, something bigger. And I'm going to call that spirit, and you can call it whatever you want to call it, because I know we all have different names. Education and connection, when we bring those two pieces together, then we have what I call empowered wellness. And that is really, in a sense, a lot about what these workshops are about. They are specifically geared towards women, talking about a lot of the issues that women are facing. It's like it's not a new thing. It's something that's been going on for quite a while, that women are having a lot of the same health issues showing up, mostly dealing with the reproductive system, a lot dealing with the nervous system, because these two really go hand in hand. And in a way that these issues are a product of a pattern or patterns of a way of being, a lifestyle, not just for that individual, but a cultural kind of lifestyle that we're all kind of subject to. And when you don't look at the whole picture, when you're not looking at holistically, looking at the picture of the person and the culture that they're stewing in and the childhood they were brought up in and all the pieces that factor into who you are today and how you came to be who you are, when you don't look at those things, then you can't find a solution. Just simply put, this is where holistic healing really thrives, is we are looking at all of those. Like the path of healing is not linear, just like your path in life, your path in love, your path in learning, your path in healing is not linear. It goes all over the place. It's yours alone. It has no beginning. It has no end. It's just what it is. And we all learn these things at different times in our lives. There are some people that I look at today who are, very, very young, and they're getting all of these things that it took me so long to learn. And here I am, 48, and just really feeling like some of these things have really um, finally taken hold, finally like are in a lived, embodied, slowed down kind of, I get it, I live it kind of place. And so um, it takes whatever it takes for you is my point. But every individual has to be looked at according to who they are and how you came to be and everything that makes you up. But also, in that same respect, as women and as humans living in these modern lives, we are all subject to a lot of the same things, a lot of the same circumstances. Like we're stewing in the same culture. And because of that, the answer for a lot of things is the same. We're all missing, as a whole, the culture is missing connection to self and to source, to the body and to the spirit. And because of those things, we're like the piece about being disempowered. And so there's a lot of practices that we can do in order to bring us back to a place of empowerment where we are recognizing our past, present, and future. We're recognizing our physical, mental, emotional, sexual, spiritual, relational health, and the importance of all of these pieces and how they fit together. Because your body is wise and has an innate ability to heal. We just have to remind ourselves and remember the parts of ourselves. And there's so many beautiful tools. So even though I'm painting this picture that you could look at, in one respect you could look at as a grim, like thing, like what's been done to us, I also don't feel that way, because this process of becoming, this process of healing, this journey of life is a beautiful one. And it's one that we all have the opportunity to walk. And whatever level, whatever that means, like it can be as simple or as complex as it is, and everything in between. But there's a lot of tools that make it like there's a lot of tools that we can use to bring us back to this place of empowered wellness. And I talked about those in that introductory workshop, which you can see the replay on the website. But it's I gave 10 tools for empowered wellness, for taking your power back. And so two of those tools are Ayurveda. And Ayurveda is a whole world, like, and which is why it's, we're doing a workshop on that, and the nervous system. So out of those 10 things, nervous system regulation and Ayurveda, or some kind of a holistic science, are two of those things on the list of 10 things. And there's a lot of overlap in some of them, but the reason that I have chosen these two things to go together, and I'll just kind of give you like a tiny preview of some of the things I'm going to be going over in the next 2 days, is Ayurveda is a holistic healing system. It is, out of what I've been exposed to, out of what I've seen practiced, I'll say, it is the most holistic system that I have seen in use. There are other systems that are also holistic and beautiful and wonderful. My experience is primarily with Ayurveda, and even with some of the other ones that are supposedly holistic, I am not, in my experience, I haven't seen them practiced in that way. So oftentimes a lot of the aspects, a lot of the pieces that would make it holistic get left out. And when that happens, you're still kind of operating on like an allopathic model, which is not one that's going to serve us. So, and by allopathic, I mean symptom driven again. So like when we're looking at the symptoms, we're not looking at the whole. We're just putting a band-aid. We're looking to calm the symptoms. And I did a little video yesterday on holistic healing and why that is important. Why is it important to know about that? And one, I've talked about it at length a little bit today, but just to also say that when we put a band-aid on something, you what's actually going on is suppressed or repressed, and it's still happening, right? You might not have that symptom, but the problem itself that's underlying the symptom, the reason that the symptom is showing up, is still there, and it's actually getting worse as you just like have the band-aid, as you like your symptoms are quelled for the moment and you just continue on, and things are actually getting worse. So the next time it shows up, the next time your body communicates to you, hey, we've got a problem, it's probably going to be worse, and it might be different, or it might be just a worse version of that same symptom. So and now going back to, so Ayurveda is this rich holistic healing system that has to, like, really spans all aspects of life and incorporates all kinds of practices. Most people are most familiar with the idea of doshas and the way that we talk about figuring out your dosha, like, your constitution, and then eating for your dosha, or living for your dosha. And that is important as well. But there's a lot of commonalities with all people. And there's a lot that we can do that is not specific to who you are as an individual, but all individuals will benefit from certain things. Certain types of self-care and living in the environment the way that we are now, with things being hyper scheduled and people, being on electronics so much and having lights that, therefore we are able to stay up until all hours of the night and still be hyper productive and things like that. Those things get us out of rhythm with who we need to be and how we need to live in order to thrive, in order to really do more than just survive, but to do well, to do really well. And so that we can all care for ourselves in that way. And so anyway, a lot of those things, a lot of the way that the culture that we're in today is very vata imbalancing or disturbing, and so we can all benefit with some vata pacifying remedies, especially ways of being, lifestyle things. So one of the things that we're gonna talk about is connecting those two ideas, like the nervous system and the nervous system overload that we're all in, and how Ayurveda talks about that in terms of vata imbalance, and how what the things that we can do through Ayurveda to really address the root of the problem. And also looking on the nervous system side, things that we can do we can start to educate ourselves on the nervous system and how it works, and the states that we could be in, and recognizing our states and how to shift states, and different practices that we can use. So the workshop itself is going to be a 3-hour workshop. We'll have a little break in the middle. There will be time for discussion and connection and questions and coaching as well. So it's going to be a really amazing experience. And I'm excited for it. So I hope you sign up. This is again the first of a series of workshops, and I'm offering this first one at a really low introductory rate. And if you get in at that rate, you can get in for the rest of the series at that rate. What else did I want to say? If you're on my email list, you will have already gotten an email giving you a 10% off code. So that will be even better price point for you. If you're not, you can subscribe to my email, and I can give you a 10% code for that to use. if you have any questions, or if there's any things that you would like to hear more about, like in terms of the nervous system or mental emotional health or hormonal health or just women's health in general, I'm so excited to share and grateful to be able to share this these tools and this information with you, and I look forward to going deeper into this with you. So I'm not going to keep going for too much longer because I do want to make this watchable, not too long, and I'm going to do another one tomorrow and the next day so that we can go a little bit more into detail about Ayurveda and the nervous system individually, to break those two up, but also just there's going to be some juicy bits in it that I'm really excited to share with you. So really exploring some and doing some rewiring of our nervous systems, because that is so important. That's another thing we're going to be talking about, rewiring the nervous system and actually practicing things. So these workshops are practical, experiential. We're going to do things that you're going to be able to use in your life in order to help you to have more calm and more ease and more control in navigating your own life and daily circumstances. And yeah, so things you have to look forward to. I hope you catch the other videos tomorrow and the next day, and have a lovely Thursday. I hope to see you Sunday. See you later.